The Prince of Cambridge will be in the spotlight like no other baby in the world.
So how will Wills and Kate protect him? Angela Mollard, one of our favourites, is here now. So let's talk about the royal protocol surrounding the birth, because, I mean, this is a very modern couple, as royals go.
Very modern, because obviously when in the past they used to have either a policeman or a courtier in the birthing room to check that the baby wasn't
And the Home Secretary as well.
And the Home Secretary, so they would have all these people. It would have been huge, and the baby would have been taken away from the mothers pretty much straight away so they can do all the officialdom. This would have been very intimate from what we've heard, that there would only have been Kate and William and their immediate doctors in the room. So a lot different. I think the key thing with this is the 4 hours. The 4 hours tells us everything about how this baby is going to be raised. This is the couple's baby initially, not the Crown's baby, and read a lot into those 4 hours. 4 hours in media time, as we know, is huge, and to be able to delay the announcement that long speaks volumes.
I mean, can I just quickly ask? I mean, Wills is in the birthing suite, so we've established that. But how hands-on do you think he is? I mean, I know back in the day it would have been like Charles would have just been pacing around and doing whatnot back in the day.
Well, apparently, what's whatnot?
I don't know, cigars. What does he do? Does Charlie like
talking
cigars?
to the pot plant in the corner.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah,
no, that's his dad.
Well, look, Charles loved the birth. He was really, he absolutely adored it, and he spoke, eloquently about it. I think that William would have been, obviously he was there. Which end he was at, we can't speculate.
Do you reckon he cut the cord? I cut the cord. Do you reckon he cut the cord?
I reckon he probably did. I think he would have been very involved. And what's really interesting is that when when William was born, Charles was straight out on the steps giving a press conference. With William, he stayed in there with his wife.
Yeah, he has.
So how do you think this new baby's childhood will compare with that of William and Harry?
Oh, I think it's going to be hugely different. I think this baby's inherited the engine of the monarchy, but the oil that runs it from the Middletons. That's how that's going to run. We're going to see Kate go off to Bucklebury. It's going to be as much about bouncy castles down in the countryside as it is posh table settings up at Buckingham Palace. I think we'll also see this child will never meet its grandmother, but her influence on how it is raised is not to be underestimated. This child will have the press protection that she didn't, and that will be enormous. I think it'll be a modern child in lots of ways. It'll also obviously go to private schools and be very well connected with the aristocracy.
But you were saying as well, like the love that they have for each other will be much different.
David, I think
I'm not trying to poo-poo Diana and Charles, but we know it was
I think that's going to be the key difference. I lived in London through the Diana, Charles, the baby years with William and Harry. It was toxic, and they were both feeding different messages out through the various courtiers, and we've seen that through all the books that were written around that stage and all the leaking that went on. This is a very tight unit. The people that are indicating how this baby will be raised, we should look more to the Middletons than to the royal family. There's that cohesiveness, a closeness. This will be a couple that'll be kissing over the high chair rather than arguing over it.
And speaking of being modern, people apparently want Kate to breastfeed in public, but realistically, the general public, people out there have said that they want Kate to, feel free to be able to do this. But realistically, would that ever happen, Ange?
The thought of Kate lobbing out a boob outside Tesco's on a, no, I'm sorry, it's so not going to happen.
What about outside Harrods? Would that make a difference?
Maybe, if there's a gold shawl over it. No, we'll never see that. That will all be done in private. In fact, I don't think we'll see much of Kate for the next few months. I think she'll be very much at home with her family. I think there'll be a lot of kind of scripted video clips and pictures put out, but I don't think we'll see her out doing royal duties.
We'll definitely see Will soon, won't we?
Oh, we'll see him soon, and we'll see them on the steps, which, could well be tomorrow. It will be quick, I think. I don't think they linger in the hospital. So we're going to see that first shot. Then, of course, whatever they go and do from there. They will produce stuff. We've seen them. Clarence House came out with 4 tweets within, they're giving us the information. They're not holding it back. They're giving her dignity, but they're also engaging with a public that has a huge love for them.
Because whether we like it or not, this is going to be a very public child. We're already saying it's the next in line for the throne. Here is the future king.
Yes.
We're all celebrating this. I mean, that's going to be a lot of pressure on a young, day-old baby.
This is the 43rd monarch. You think since William the Conqueror, this is only the 43rd person to be born into this role. It is huge. It's momentous, but it's also very modern. And the palaces have kept up with that. We see that we saw their assistant come out. I can't remember his name, but with the crimson folder. They have very young staff on board these days. We're not talking about old people with tired notions of what royalty should be. This is a very contemporary contemporary modern royalty.
But what about nannying and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, you know, back in the day, I think we've spoke about this with you on the show before, that there was like, you know, wet nurses and nannies everywhere for the other kids, but they will be far more hands-on.
They will be hands-on. Look, I don't think there's any doubt they won't have a nanny. I'm sure that they will.
But that whole wet nurse thing.
That whole wet nurse thing, definitely not happens. And this will be Carol Middleton and Pippa. They'll be the attendants. They'll be the people helping. They'll be their hands-on. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Harry and Pippa as godparents. It'll be very rough and tumble and fun. You know, this is going to be reading Roald Dahl. This isn't going to be, you know, encyclopedias at Balmoral. This is going to be a very modern child.
You know, Kate is obviously... I'm thinking they might go for the second one quite quickly.
Straight in.
Sonia.
Irish twins.
Irish twins.
Irish twins.
You know what the BBC's calling it? The people's pregnancy.
Oh, really? Brilliant name. Brilliant.
What about...
but the reason I say that is because I think that the baby will be scrutinised, and I think, you know, and I think maybe in order to lift that pressure, they might think if we have our children fairly quickly...
One for them, one for the country.
Well, exactly. It might spread the load a little bit.
I agree with you, and she's going to be in that role anyway. She's going to be at home. We saw Diana turn out 2 babies pretty quickly, in quick succession. I think they've spoken a lot about family. When they got engaged, we had them talking very much about family, how William really wants to be a father. He's talked about, you know, the fact he has to go back to work, but he really wants to be a dad. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw quite a big family, but I think you're right. I think
when you say big, Ange, how many
I think 4. I think 4, yeah. I think she'll follow the... You know, she is bred for this. She is the ultimate princess. She's not got... You know, Diana was very young. She hadn't done her living. Kate's done some living.
Well, and big families are back in vogue. Princess Mary has 4 children, doesn't she? See, Kate could indeed have twins at some point, David.
This is fabulous.
I'm predicting that.
It's not like they can't afford it.
We've already
exactly. They can have 6 children.
This kid is like, you know, 5 or 6 hours old. We're like, no,
David, it could be Octo Kate. I'm just saying. Now, she is naturally very athletic, very fit. How much pressure do you think she'll be under to snap back into shape and also set a realistic example for other new mums?
Sonia, I don't think she'll give a jot. She is an athletic girl. She's fit. She's healthy. She will do what's right for her. She's not going to be a Kim Kardashian who feels pressured and has a public image to maintain. She's a naturally fit girl. She will do precisely what she wants to do, and that's why we love her.
I don't want to sound like Ross Greenwood here, but let's talk about the financial benefits of the country. I mean, I think I was reading quickly something off online. I don't know where it was, but they were saying like this could the tourism could bring in 400 million alone of pounds for that. But also, I'm thinking now she's done a lot of misdirection about where she's shopping, what she's shopping for. I reckon they've known it's a boy. So all those toys that are going to come. I mean, we've seen how the dresses fly off the shelves with her.
Yeah, and whatever that kid wears from Baby Gap or from Henny's or Topshop, those will sell like mad, as well as the name. Whatever name they choose will go nuts in England.
Yeah.
Look,
Prince Albert.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. I'm going for George. What are you guys going for?
Oh, gee.
Prince Arthur. I'm going for Prince Arthur.
I'm backing Prince David because it's a long shot. It's at 40-1, but I still like the idea of Prince David. And David likes Prince Arthur.
I like Prince Arthur. And then
the Knights of the Realm.
Where are you in the 16th century? What is it, 12th century?
It's a wonderful story and fable.
Yeah, they're a modern couple, David. Get on.
No, then Prince Artie. That's cool. Artie's cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to go.
King Artie, yeah.
King Artie.
King Artie. Thanks for that, Anne.